These stat lines need to be studied. 30 and 10, cool. Triple-double, meh. But sometimes a box score drops that is so insane that people find themselves going back through games to see what happened. And that's what we're going to cover in today's video. The historical list of most crazy stat lines in NBA history. Let's start with one that pulls on the heartstrings of a lot of NBA fans. In April 2019, against the Lakers, Russell Westbrook put up 20 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists. And this is one of those games that if you're a younger fan, I would classify myself as a younger fan. But I remember exactly where I was when this happened. And this just encapsulated Westbrook's style of play. This is a crazy stat line to kick off this list. And when will this happen again? Who knows? I can't see a player in the league currently that could do this. Russell Westbrook is one of a kind. Passing off to his former teammate, we have James Harden. In 2013, against the grit and grind Grizzlies, we're talking Tony Allen, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, tough defense. And James Harden felt this. He shot 2 for 9 from the field, but somehow finished with 27 points. And you want to know how? It's because he shot 25 free throws. People complain about SGA now. They complain about Joel Embiid and even Denny Avdia at the moment. But 25 free throws, and he made 22 of them. 2 for 9 from the field, 27 points. Put me in the league. I'm making that. I'm just foul baiting. I'm going up every time, and I could make 30. Against the physical defense, Harden embraced the contact. He drew the fouls. And this, I would say, not this game in particular, but this is the era where foul baiting really started. I remember the controversy surrounding James Harden when he averaged 40 a game. Insert the Stephen A. Smith clip.
He's averaging 40!
Even on a night where he could only put up 9 shots in total and only make 2 of them, he still scored 27 points. And this just demonstrated the scoring potential of James Harden that we would see later in his career as well. And this is an ugly game. I went back and watched it. It was not pretty to watch, but you can't deny the effect and the domino effect that this had on players in today's league, SGA, Denny, etc. So it's an interesting stat, and this is one that I feel could be replicated. You don't know how the officiating goes in today's league. So, but it has to have probs that you got 27 points. You're going to get buckets nonetheless. Do you count that as legitimate? Up to you, I guess. But moving on to the next one. Wemby. And the only reason I include this is so I can put him on the thumbnail. But in his rookie season, he recorded a triple-double with blocks. 27 points, 14 rebounds, 10 blocks. And this has only been done by one other player in NBA history, and that was Hakeem Olajuwon. This just showcased Wemby's defensive presence in the league, even as a rookie, and we all knew that he was going to be something special. 10 blocks require timing, athleticism, defensive IQ, positioning, length, all of it. Pause. This solidified Wemby's case in the DPOY category that we now consider him in every year. He is a perennial DPOY contender, and I'm sure one day he's going to take home that award. But from a triple-double that was relatively high scoring, we're going to go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and we're going to talk about a classic game, Dennis Rodman for the Spurs. No points, no steals, no blocks, no assists, 20 rebounds. Know your role, and I'm sure lots of fans would have heard of this by now, but this just embodies your role and solidifies Rodman as, I would say, definitely the best rebounder for his height in NBA history. Best rebounder in NBA history. You could make the argument, but it just shows the absolute grit and hustle that Rodman brought to the court when he was focused. He brought a certain craft to rebounding at his height, but it's definitely one of the weirdest stat lines going around. Draymond Green, backpack man. Triple-double with 10 steals. This is similar to Wemby, but 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 10 steals. Didn't register 10 points in that game. 4 points. Parlays would have been smashed that night. I can't underestimate how crazy this would have been. And I mean, he wouldn't have got his 10 assists if he tried to score 10 points anyway. But it just demonstrates the playmaking ability that prime Draymond had. This is in 2017, once again against Memphis. A lot of stat lines are coming against Memphis here. And this might be one of the weirdest triple-doubles in history. I would probably say the weirdest triple-double recorded in history. But it just showcases Draymond's strengths. They weren't in scoring for the most part. They were in playmaking, rebounding, distributing the ball. And when he wanted to, he could steal the ball as well. And next we're going to give it up for Milwaukee legend, Tony Snell. In 2017, with the Bucks, Tony Snell had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks in 28 minutes. That is disgusting work, my boy. But shout Tony Snell though, because later in his career, he ended up having 24 points, shooting a perfect 9 for 9 from the field. But also highlights something real, that some roles in the NBA aren't about numbers, but I mean, you could record one stat for the night, and it sucks that Tony Snell, such a nice guy, had to be the one to be the butt of this joke. But still crazy to look back and judge a stat line that really had no impact whatsoever on the game. Now in 2021, against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jamal Murray dropped 50 points. And this happens all the time. Or actually, it hasn't happened a lot this year, but it usually does happen all the time. But Jamal Murray, here's the thing. 21 of 25 from the field, 8 of 10 from 3, no whistles, no charity stripe, no free throws. And this is the highest scoring game in NBA history without free throws. Jamal Murray, only one-time All-Star. It's crazy how this record isn't held by a player of greater status. And before, the record was held by Hakeem, who scored 48 points. But a 50 bomb, no free throws, all earned, money from deep. What more could you say? This was controlled, surgical, and Jamal just had takeover. That's all you can say to that. We're going to dive into some stats that are lesser known and ones that I had to research a lot before this video because I had no idea they even happened. And one is Rasul Butler, I hope I'm saying that right, who had 1 turnover in 0 minutes played. And you're thinking, oh, he could have played 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and then got taken out. If you sub yourself in, that is 1 minute. It counts as a minute. So how did he register a turnover without even playing technically? It's because he was brought in to make an inbound pass. He wasn't in the field of play and committed a 5-second shot clock violation, causing him to have a turnover, and he was immediately pulled from the game. I would say it's a bit harsh. Didn't really have his chance, and I hope Rasul Butler's out there doing well. Another player I'm not too familiar with, Cal Bowdley. In 1999, he finished the game with 7 fouls. And you're thinking, oh, 6 fouls. You normally foul out. And it's technically impossible under the rules of NBA basketball. And in 1999, that's not the black and white days. You think something like that wouldn't happen. But it was just due to a ref mistake, a statistic mistake. Someone wasn't keeping track of the amount of fouls, and somehow Bowdler got to stay in the game. This box score, this stat line literally breaks the rules of the game, and that's why I had to include it on this list. These are the type of players the old heads be talking about. Cal Bowdler was literally game-breaking in the 90s.
I mean, I was watching Kenny Smith in 1990 throw the ball between his legs and dunk the ball off the backboard backwards at 6'3" in 1990.
And the last one, you know I had to include this in the all-time, and it is the Wilt 100-point game in 1962, supposedly. Do we believe this happened? Apparently he scored 100 points against the Knicks, playing all 48 minutes, and shot 28 for 32 from the free throw line. In a high-pace era with a physical dominance, obviously it's Wilt. We've seen what kind of stuff he can do. But is it a myth? Is it a legend? Did it actually happen? You guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Should have I included this on the list? And were there any that I missed out? Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and stick around if you know ball. Peace out.